All right. I'd like to bring this meeting to order, work session for January 30th, 2026. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Here.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Here.
Commissioner Casaboon?
Here.
Commissioner Ranello?
Present.
Mayor Dixon?
Here. If you would all rise for our salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act of 1975, was advertised, posted, and made available to the public as required by statute. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Are there any changes to the agenda, Madam Clerk?
There are none, Mayor.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to open up the microphone for public comment on any agenda items only. If you would like to address the commission, please go to the podium, state your name and address and your concerns. Please limit your comments to approximately 5 minutes. Right. All right. Seeing no one approach the podium, I'm going to close the public, or the comment portion for agenda items only. And we will open it up to discussion of commissioners on ordinances and resolutions. Madam Clerk?
Yes, so we do have three ordinances on for second reading. Ordinance of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Millville fixing the salaries and rates of certain employees, administration contract. If there's any discussion about that one.
Yeah, so this is just a second reading. This is salaries for the administrative contract that was discussed, bargained, and this is just a second reading, finalizing their salaries.
Ordinance for second reading, item 2, an ordinance amending the municipal code of the City of Millville, adding a subsection under payment of solid waste service charges to establish late fees.
Okay, this was a kind of meeting together that we decided that we were going to start charging late fees. We had, I think, close to, at one time, almost 1,000 that were behind in payments. That's a lot of money to the city. So we're going to be assessing this $10 fee for each quarter. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Or Commissioner Cosmo.
Welcome.
Anyone else?
Ordinance for second reading, item number 3, an ordinance amending the municipal code of the City of Millville, adding a subsection under solid waste charges to establish a deduction for senior disabled persons that meet the criteria for the property tax deduction.
Again, this was tipping fees, so the cost of R was passed on to the residents. They had $1 a quarter, so they had, or yes, $1 a month, $3 a quarter. So it was $12 increase. But we also felt that there are some senior citizens out there that do meet the requirement by the state for discounts, and so that's what this ordinance is for, is to help them along with that $12.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is attached to the property tax,
That
right?
is correct. If they get the property tax, they more than likely will be eligible for this.
And it's very stringent, like they have a lot of qualifications that they
Yes,
have to go through.
yes, absolutely.
Yes,
Form
did-
to fill out, I believe.
Didn't we have a number of the people that this actually touched?
I thought at one time was 180, 165.
165
Yes.
people.
165.
So it's not that much.
This is a specific criteria.
Correct.
And I believe it's under 10,000 outside of your social security.
So she's saying it's under $10,000 that you can earn above your social security. So that only touches what, 160?
165.
165.
What's the actual dollar figure of that?
That's who's eligible.
Yeah, but what does that come to in dollars?
We did it,
Real
was
dollars.
6,500, I believe, is that correct?
6,500, yeah, I mean, that's something that I don't think many people have.
6,600.
No, but it'll get them, an extra gallon
Yeah.
of milk and a dozen eggs if it helps
Absolutely,
them.
I
Yes.
couldn't say no to that. Okay, anyone else?
Okay. Ordinances for first reading. Ordinance for first reading, item number 1, an ordinance amending the salary ordinance.
Yeah, so this is just, there's been 5 part-time positions that were, we just didn't vote on last time, so this is a first reading to get them added in as well. They're just simple things that have already been negotiated, we're just adding them in, they were forgotten.
And I will say that some, code officials, this is something I sort of pushed forward a little bit, that code officials are very tough to find, very hard to find. It takes a lot of qualifications and a lot of licensing to be a code and subcode official. They're very difficult to find. We're currently sharing our construction official with another city right now because they're just positions that aren't out there. And that's why a lot of cities have shared service agreements. So this does bring, it changes the maximum so that we have a little bit more flexibility. And I think a lot of them were capped at almost $21 an hour, which to get a subcode official or a code official is very tough to get when you're only offering them $21 an hour. So it does bring it a little more in line, so we have some flexibility to work with.
For resolutions, we have a resolution to cancel tax certificate as pursuant to NJSA 54:5.
This is just the monthly standard procedure of the tax office.
Anyone else?
Resolution authorizing the purchasing agent to award a purchase order for an F-250 truck at an amount not to exceed $61,288.81.
Which department is this for?
That's me. That's coming from UEZ grant money. Samantha Cruz has been trying to pursue this since, I think it was June or July. So that's finally coming through now. This truck will be used for the clean team. We're gonna have a clean team going out across the city, cleaning up all sorts of stuff, shopping carts, anything that's laying around, tires, whatever we see, TVs. Anything we could get off the streets, any kind of mess that we don't want to see on our streets. We're going to have two gentlemen, when we hire them, or women, who will be using this truck to clean up the UEZ district.
I think that is an amazing idea. I've seen on social media, people are starting to post pictures in alleys of big trash all over the place, and I think this green team is, and the great thing is, as you mentioned, it's UEZ funds,
Clean team, yeah.
the clean team.
Yep.
UEZ funds for the equipment and for the people. It doesn't come out of the taxpayers', pocketbook, and it's gonna help move the city to a cleaner,
Yeah,
better looking place. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
congratulations on that one. That's a terrific thing.
Resolution authorizing tax and utility adjustments.
Yeah, once again, if this is a standard monthly thing, different things involves is like return checks, or sometimes we have high estimates that we've refunded money for, and just the cleaning up of monthly bills of the water and tax and sewer utilities.
Resolution approving license towing operator application A1 towing.
So this is the renewal of their license for the city for the towing. We have a on-call tow list, and A1's been on that list for quite some time. They're one of our standard businesses that we use.
Excellent.
Resolution appointing economic developer.
All right, I'll start off on this one. Joe Couchy, previously our full-time business administrator, that was a position where he was splitting his time between business administration and, economic development. Mr. Couchy is going to be working directly with me. I am very, very excited and very, very happy to see him move into this position. I don't know how we can accomplish what we want to accomplish in this city without Mr. Couchy in this position. I campaigned on having an economic person devoted to economic development. Many of the people who also campaigned, that was something that they mentioned. I think it's a vital position for the city at this point. Without economic development, robust economic development, we will not improve our tax base, and we will always be behind the 8 ball when it comes to paying for the things that we want to do. So the only way to get to, from point A to B as far as being fiscally solvent in the city is to have a bigger tax base. And we need somebody who, Mr. Couchy will be the face of business in the city. When somebody talks, if somebody is talking on a street corner about opening a business, I want him to just pop up and say, what do you want to do? And he's going to take them through the entire process. He's going to work on big projects, small projects. He's going to be the face of any type of economic development, and I'm very excited. I think this is his wheelhouse. I think he is an incredible person for the job, and 1,000% confident in his abilities. And quite frankly, I don't know how we accomplish the vision that we see for this city in the next 4 years without someone like him in that job. Anyone else?
Resolution appointing a fund commissioner.
Yeah, so we need somebody appointed from our governing body to sit as a sit on the JIF Fund Commission. We are appointing Roy Bitterman, our municipal administrator, to serve on it, as well as Pamela Shapiro as our alternative to that. It's mandated, we have to have somebody sit on it, and those are the two people.
Then we just have two resolutions appointing members to the Housing Authority. This is Jennifer Hanley and Kim Barfield. They just expired and wanted to renew their term.
How long's their term for?
I believe they are till 2030, so
Whew.
5 years, yeah.
All right,
Well, I'm glad they want to come back on board.
that's dedication.
That's a-
That is
yes,
dedication, for
That is
sure.
dedication.
Is that it?
Yep,
Oh, did we
that's-
have, I thought we had Rachel Green somewhere in there.
So she's as
Oh,
a.
she's a letter, I'm
letter.
sorry.
Yep, she's a petition and
that's-
letter to, for appointment for a Class 4 Planning Board member.
All right, does anybody want to discuss her? Since we are now, well, hold on. Let me go on to new business. Is there any new business we would like to discuss? No? Anything, Commissioner?
No, at this point.
All right. We can hold off till if we want to discuss, I just want to discuss the snowstorm, the recent snowstorm. And as everybody knows, I do look at social media on Facebook. And this morning I sat with Wayne Gressman, who was our superintendent of streets and roads. And we made a video for the public. It's already posted, so go on my page and you'll see the video of us explaining the entire process from planning and pre-planning all the way through the storm. And you'll learn a lot about what Streets and Roads does when a storm like this hits. It's very informative. It's only about 15 minutes. And if you want to know what happened during the storm and how the city prepares for it and what we do and how we approach it, I see a lot of disinformation purposely being put out by people in social media. I don't know what the reason for that is, but I've heard people say we only had 2 plows running. We didn't have any salt. We had, I think the total number that the city had going was over 30 plows going. We put over, I believe it was 250 tons, which is 500,000 pounds of salt on the roads. This was a storm that was a very difficult storm to work with because the powdery snow that came down first and then the ice that went down on top of it. We had people that were worked for 16 plus hours straight. They were exhausted. I went around seeing some of them. We all did. Everybody sitting here went around that day and we're talking to the employees to see how everybody was doing. Very hands-on commission. I want to hand it to all the commissioners here who did do that, and especially more so to the people who, worked the storm. I think they did a phenomenal job. Was it perfect? No, but I don't think any municipality in the state, did a perfect job. It was a very difficult storm because of the ice. If you want details on exactly how the plows work and how, what type of plow you need to get into ice, because you really can't chop into ice with plows. It doesn't work that way. there's a very detailed explanation online where you can, know the real story about how the city works, and that's what this commission wants to do. We want to get real information out to the public about what's really going on, not where people just make things up for whatever reason that is. I can't tell you what their motivations are, but we want to get the truth out there and what we're doing to make the city a better place. Anybody want to jump in there?
I do. That
Right.
is my department, and first I want to just say thank you to everybody that worked. They did a phenomenal job. We were faced with an unprecedented storm. We didn't expect that ice to come down the way it did with the rain. We had 4 departments plus private vendors out there plowing. These guys worked 12 to 16 to 18 hours at a time working in that cold. I have to give them kudos for that. We're still out there working. Yes, there were some mistakes. We're going to use this as a learning tool for future storms. When we sit down with the guys, when we update them and for the next storm. So bear with us. We are doing the best that we can with what we have, and kudos to every one of them that were out there working. Because, you know what? I was safe inside, nice and dry and warm. They were out there.
Yep.
So thank you to every one of those department guys and the
Jump
private vendors. Thank you.
I'm going to jump back in real quick. What was on, what I saw people saying was we ran out of salt, we didn't have salt, we didn't buy salt. We started out with, I think it's 450 tons of salt, and he used 250 tons of salt. So we were not out of salt. They're putting salt out there. They're still putting salt out there as we speak. So we didn't run out of salt. They put a huge amount of salt out there. But we just need to correct the record when people are saying that, the city, there's 2 trucks and there's no salt. It's just not true. It's almost ridiculous to even mention that out here, but those are the facts. And if you want to see more, just check out, Wayne Gressman. He did a great job today explaining exactly how the department works.
And also, so there was a big change that happened this last time, which was very impressive. Prior to the storm, or maybe the first time ever in a long time, we actually had a
Yes, we did.
pre-snow meeting
Yes,
with
we
the
did.
Office of Emergency Management there. It was an eye-opener. The employees absolutely loved that we did that. Was there mistakes? Sure. But what that did for us is there was also debriefing when we were done.
Correct.
So they took all the good things and the bad things that happen, and there's going to be good and bad every time. We're never going to get it right. But now we're documenting it, right? So now we have plans in place, improvements we can make, all because of the foresight of using our OEM coordinator.
Correct.
And for those who don't know, as Sergeant Stanek ran this meeting, and we're just trying to change the way we do things, and trying to fix the mistakes that come,
That come.
right? Because
Yeah.
we're going to make a lot of them.
Absolutely. 'Cause
But
you-
by doing this, we are recognizing our mistakes, we're documenting our mistakes, and we're going to try to improve as we
Improve over
go.
it.
And
And there will always be a storm where there's
Yes.
going to be something that will pop up and go, geez, we didn't discuss that.
and I'm a little embarrassed to say this, but I don't know who runs our Facebook page, but should we start putting that video on the Millville Facebook page?
We should, however, it was just easier to put it online for that, but,
We're not about easy going forward.
yeah.
Put that on there.
He just wants to see how many votes, or how many,
Well, views are important, I gotta keep those metrics up.
Right.
That's right.
People,
But just,
coming to
being,
my site.
being that we're using the city stuff, it'd be nice to see on the,
yes, absolutely.
Facebook.
Yep.
Yep. Let's make that happen. All right.
I think that,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I got back up, he can't
You
see it.
hesitated so long, I thought we were done.
no. I'm down here, though. My seat's this way. Emergency services, streets and roads, the parks, phenomenal job.
Water department.
OEM,
and sewer.
water department.
They did too.
I mean, we were out there very early in the storm. Some were in at 3, some were in it, came in a little later. They can only work 16 hours.
Correct.
They have to have a break. Social media is like a wildfire. Starts with a little tiny flame, And then it grows by acre, by acre, by acre, by acre of completely false information. Some people that are in the know should be ashamed of themselves for spreading lies, false information. It's really disgusting. And it's a shame because people look to those people to believe it, you know? They're like, well, these people were, factual, they were in the spots or whatever, so they must be right. No. If you want the information, just call one of us. Call one of the departments. It's not that hard. Our guys and girls were out there busting their humps this entire snowstorm. This snowstorm was a very odd bird for us. It snowed a lot, and then it sleeted for a long time, and then temperatures dropped to the point where it had a crust on it, and it didn't matter what you did, it was frozen solid. It's been below freezing temperatures almost since the storm. It's going to take a while for it to melt. But when I was in emergency management, and by the way, we had those meetings too.
They're just ran better now.
Well, they are, because I trained them. So, I always said rain falls, wind blows, snow melts. We'll get back to normal at some point in time. It just takes a little bit of time. Sometimes it takes extra time. Are mistakes made? Absolutely. Are things missed? They are. But that's why we have meetings. That's why we have after-action reports and after-action meetings. And we will try our best to alleviate those problems so they don't happen again. But I think all of the departments did a wonderful job.
Absolutely did.
On emergency service side, police, fire, EMS, and OEM, I think we had one very minor injury through the whole entire thing. Ambulances could get to calls, stretchers got to houses, fire trucks got to fires, police got to calls. So the false reports that were out there that they didn't are extremely false. The men and women of the EMS division were extra staffed, the fire department was extra staffed, and so was the police department were extra staffed. When it came to getting a stretcher to a house, there were 2 crews sometimes that were sent so that the stretcher could get there safely and back to the ambulance safely. So I give kudos to all of the emergency services departments and all of the other utilities that helped during the storm. I think they did a phenomenal job.
It actually has not been above freezing at all. In fact, every morning it's been negative wind chill factor.
Did I say above freezing?
Yeah,
I meant below.
yeah, it's been below
It's been cold.
ever since, and every morning it's been negative wind chill factor.
Been cold, yes.
And I still have 3 inches of ice on my driveway, but that's my driveway, right? And I'm responsible for it. So.
That was an interesting thing I saw where, not to beat social media to death, but I saw how somebody had said that they're certain that each one of our driveways are plowed wonderfully by the city. And I almost put a picture of my,
I can put a
I
picture
didn't
of
shovel my
mine.
driveway at all. So to get my car out of there, I was like going over the moon. It still looks like the moon surface. Nobody comes through, and, we're corrupt and they're plowing our driveways. Nobody came through, I don't know, nobody came through and plowed my driveway. Or
My
asked-
grandson plowed mine
Well,
with
yeah,
the
but
Kubota or whatever that
with his
thing
own
is called.
equipment, yeah.
With his own equipment, and he did a lousy job.
So,
Sorry.
that's on record.
That's right.
So I just want to say that 2 things. If you are having issues out there now, call 911. All right? And if there's life or death where you're caught in the house and you're ran out of insulin and you need insulin for your diabetes, whatever it is, call 911 and get the help you need. All right? If the city can help, the city's going to help you. And I do want to say one thing that we didn't really mention, but if you watch the video, Wayne gives a wonderful explanation. Ice, you can't plow ice.
Cannot. Nor
Ice
will the salt do anything at this
And
temperature.
And loading salt on top doesn't melt it because it's too cold.
It's too cold.
So the way that our plows are normal plows, and they're not steel bladed to dig into the ice. They have a rubber edge to them. And and the reason is if you have a steel blade and you're scraping along and you hit, a manhole that's this far above, it basically will stop it and almost throw you through the windshield, and it damages all the equipment. So you can't have, it just, plowing ice the way it is out there now, it just doesn't work unless you had, like what the state has, those big giant trucks that go around to plow. And and they probably cost 20 times more than the plows, and it's just not feasible fiscally to do something like that. So we're hoping for warmer temperatures very soon.
That's it.
Anybody else want to talk about the snow, or is that it? All right. All right, snow is done. Anybody have anything else to discuss? I mean, we can wait till your comments at the end if you like.
Commissioner Cott, I have been speaking with Emily, and apparently there's an issue regarding the appointment of a couple of people to the planning board because of unexpired terms where they were put in midstream. I spoke to Emily about the situation. My initial inclination would be to rescind those people that were put in inadvertently and then reissue an ordinance that would terminate them on the unexpired term. The reason is for that the statute requires a specified period of a term for these are two Class 4 members of the planning board. The reason I bring it to your attention is that I understand that you had a conversation with the attorney for the planning board and just wanted to discuss that.
Yeah, so, these dates are supposed to expire on December 31st. It's always been like that, but for some reason, in between the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, who knows when it started, we started appointing them, I'm making this up, June 20th, and made a 3-year term to June 20th. So a lot of these positions were expiring at weird times throughout the year. So going back to what you're saying is rescinding that and making them proper is really what we want to do. An expired term, if there's a year and a half left, they're supposed to finish out the expired term. The
Correct.
term is supposed to be 3 or 4 years, not the
It's supposed to
person's
be a
supposed to
4-year
be.
term.
Right.
That's correct.
So yes, thank you for that.
So-
And by the way, we're just trying to get it back to where all the terms are supposed to end and then redo on.
So all I would suggest to you is, so nobody gets caught by surprise and
Yep.
looking for a path of least resistance, if we're gonna put those resolutions on the agenda for Tuesday, I think it's probably a really good idea, since you're the one who's been looking into this, that you reach out to those members and let them know ahead of time that there was an error made in the past and we're looking to
I
correct
feel
it.
like there was only 2 of them?
There's two drafted
Okay.
resolutions that were part of Emily's package that she sent out last
And
night.
I think that was, correct me if I'm wrong, Brian Mills and Paula Hewlings?
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe that's correct.
Yep.
So I only say that to you because I think we're avoiding a potential problem if those resolutions come up and these two individuals are not aware of what's going on and don't understand the reason why, and they get put on the agenda, and now all
Yep.
of a sudden, they may be upset that their term got cut shorter than they believed it would be, and I think, if we gave them an explanation before we acted on it, and if there's any issue with regard to that, you can certainly contact me, but I also think you should let the
I feel that both of them will be very receptive.
Yeah,
and
I'm
know
not,
them.
I'm not
Yep.
suggesting that I think it's going to be problematic.
Correct.
I'm
Because
just,
nothing really changes except making the housekeeping to make it.
correct. And what it should have been, and there might have been an administrative error, and that's all this resolution is
Yep.
seeking to do. And I would just let the planning board attorney know, either you can do it or I can do it, but I think that that's probably, just so everybody's on the same page.
Perfect. And the planning board completely agrees with your assessment as well, and is glad that we're all coming up to the same conclusion.
Okay.
As far as the term and.
I
and
was
how
a
it
little
ends.
unclear of that. My understanding, and I'm glad I'm corrected on this, is that the planning board attorney thought it was okay the way it was and didn't need a change. I definitely think it needs a change.
Well, I think, and once again, I don't want to speak for the attorney. I feel like they might agree that they didn't think it needed to be rescinded, but they definitely agreed with how the date should end.
Yeah.
So if it's cleaner doing it this
So
way,
that's
and we
the
get the
prop-
same end result, let's do it
Correct.
the right.
I
yeah,
think
let's do
that's
it
the
clean.
proper
Yep.
way, and it makes a clear record of exactly what happened. And we don't know exactly how or when or why it got to where it is, but the important thing is that we're fixing it going forward.
Perfect, thank you.
So you'll add that to the agenda?
Did anybody need any further discussion on that, any clarity? So a lot of these terms ended in the mid-year or so they're supposed to all expire on December 31st. It's a natural progression, and if somebody vacates that, the new person finishes out, whether it's 3 months or it's, 2.5 years. So they're always ending on the same time.
Same time.
And
So that term is set.
other
The
part
term
of
is
it
set,
is
yes.
this, you have a staggered board. You don't get into a situation where all the class 4, the class 1, 2, and 3 members are elected officials appointed by, or appointees. So their terms are tied to their elected term, okay? But the class 4s are, for lack of a better word, residents, civilians. And you want that board staggered. You don't want them all rolling off on one time or all coming on at a time. So this will make sure that we have the board properly staggered.
Thank you, Mr. Solicitor. All right. We have now come to the public comment portion of our meeting. Anyone who would like to address the commission, please go to the podium, state your name and address and your concerns. Please limit your comments to approximately 5 minutes.
Mary Messick here of Millville. I give the city credit for what they've done and what yous are trying to accomplish. Personally, I have no objections really to if you want to have a work session, a workshop, a different day than a commission meeting. But for those that would love to come to these meetings, that can't because of the hour, because their jobs. I understand some of yous have jobs, so I can understand the difficulty in trying to schedule stuff. I used to go through that my own self. But when you make a statement stating you want the public to be engaged, this is a little hard to be engaged when you can't be where you want to be because of timing, because it's interfering with your job, or you're strapped down having to watch someone's children. You can't always just sit there and take a child with you, because we all know, and I know at least 3 of you, maybe 4 of you commissioners, or even all of yous, know what it's like to try to go somewhere and take a child with you, or a couple of kids with you. They don't sit still. They're not very quiet. So it's a little hard to hear when somebody is speaking, and you can't always sit there and watch YouTube or look through a computer to see. Perhaps maybe if we picked a better time frame, I understand. You guys are busy. You guys have got a lot to do. I understand that. But in a roundabout way, it's also a look as though the public is being shut out, just like the school board has done. There's many a time the school board has said, we want your help, we want your participation, and yet when we try to, the door seems to be slammed in our face through one step or another. I'd appreciate it if you guys would take that into consideration.
Would you like to start?
Yeah, I'll take a shout out to that. So, Mary, I'm gonna let you know, pretty much right up front. You have my number, you know how to get a hold of me, and you can feel free to call me and yell at me tomorrow or later today. That, I will take full responsibility. That was actually my suggestion, and for many reasons. So, I oversee a lot of the employees that are here that a lot of people don't realize, and some people in this audience have worked at this job before. They are here not only from 8:30 to 4:30, but they're here longer on commission nights. And it's a strain on them, and you talk about kids and everything else like that, you know, they literally can't go home to their families because they're obligated to be here. But that's not even the main reason as well. We wanted to be as transparent as we can with the stuff we're doing. And we thought having a work session on a Friday and then posting the agenda on a Friday gives the entire community Saturday, Sunday, 4 days to review what we went over in the work session. So we want community engagement. The work session is, you know, obviously, as you know, is really set up for us to work out the agenda. And that's the whole purpose of it. And a lot of times in the past, the work session was just commissioners looking at each other and then starting the regular meeting an hour later. And it was hard to get business done. By doing this, we have found that we can argue, discuss things between now and then to work out some of the kinks so we get it right. And we're never going to get everything right. And we do apologize for, you know, the bad hours for the community. Luckily, Millville does put it on YouTube, and I know that's hard to see too. But you can go back and look at it later, right? And we always appreciate your input. You're a staple here. You have zero problem reaching out to any of us and voicing your concern, and we love that. Right, and we love that, Mary, we do, because we know your heart is in the city. But that's really why we did it. We did it for the employees, so they didn't have more than one night of staying here till 5, 6, 7, 8, depending on if there's a heated thing. And we wanted to treat it like a true work session, where we're going through this agendas, we're trying to figure out what works and doesn't work. So come Tuesday, we are more prepared to answer your questions. Because as you know, we don't get to talk anymore, all 5 of us. So this way, if we have problems, our new administrator can walk us through it. Moving forward, he's going to be a lot more involved in the work sessions and walking us through this with his knowledge. So, like I said, I do appreciate you. You know I appreciate you, Mary, and I do appreciate you bringing that up. And I know a lot of people are going to struggle during the workday, and I get it, and I know we can't appease everybody. But just so you know where we're coming from, we wanted to make this a true work session. We wanted the public to have more than 55 minutes to figure out from work session to regular session. So we were doing it for those reasons, and I apologize for everybody out there that do struggle to get there. Obviously, you 3 don't, because you 3 have made it to every one of our work sessions. So I do appreciate you 3 to do it, and I do get that, and you guys do have a strong voice in the community, so I appreciate it. But that's where we're coming from. So thank you.
I'll just jump in there real quick. You know, something he mentioned very well said, Vice Mayor. A lot of people don't realize when I talk to people, they don't realize that as commissioners, we're not allowed to, any more than 2 of us, be it, you know, talk about city business at one time. They call it the Sunshine Law. That is the Open Public Meeting Act, I think, OPA, is that the acronym? So we can't all just go downstairs after this and hash things out. This is where it's supposed to happen. And as the Vice Mayor mentioned, that previously what would happen is, you know, the work session would be just buzzing through things and then no real discussion, and then we'd go to the meeting and, you know, it would just be everybody going through the motions. And we don't want that to be what happens. We want to actually take the time to, you can hear us talk about maybe things we agree, things we don't agree with, and you'll get to hear the process in action, which is, I think, what the public wants. You know, the one thing that we talked about as commission is being more transparent to the people, and I think we're doing a good job with that. But we want to continue it, and you get to kind of see how the sausage is made, as they say. It's not always pretty, but we want the public to see what we're thinking and why we think what we think, which was never done in the past, and or rarely. And we're trying to make a good change for the people. And like Vice Mayor Cott said, it's tough to get people to come out 2 nights in a row with, you know, childcare and stuff. And I think this is a great way to do it, and I'm glad we made the change.
Yeah, Mary, just to address what you had said, I always say this, in the absence of a story, people create their own. That was something that, before we were sworn in, that we were looking forward to doing, was to have our work sessions much earlier than our actual meetings, because we wanted to have enough time to really understand what we were voting on. I didn't find it personally to be beneficial where you have a work session, and if you don't understand something, you only have 10, 15 minutes to make a decision when you get to the next meeting. And it was something that I had stressed that I felt was really important, that everybody understand what they're voting on. People elected us to do just that, and I want to hold myself and my fellow commissioners to the same standard. We owe that to the public. So while unfortunately this may not be an ideal time for everyone, I really believed and still believe that it helps in the process of transparency. And when we need to rely on professional staff, they could be here. They could be here to explain to us and to the public why an item is necessary or why it's not necessary. So going forward, I'm hoping this works, and if for any reason it doesn't work, we could always change it down the road. But for now, I'm in favor of it. So, but I do consider what you have to say. I have young children. He'll probably be here during the next meeting, so I get it. So thank you.
I have to agree. Mary Ann, thank you, because you are a staple in this community. I learned a lot from you, and you also know how to get in touch with me. But I love this work session. I really, truly do. It has been very beneficial for me compared to the old, and I'm for it. And like Marissa said, if it doesn't work out, we'll see what happens. But for right now, I think it's awesome. It really does.
Right.
Because we're here for the residents. So we all can say, well, what's best for the residents? Not how I feel, but how's it gonna affect you? So I'm all for it. Thank you.
Yeah, Mary, you know you're one of my favorite people in Millville. Your dedication to this town is, just huge. I agree with all the commissioners. This time frame and the way we're doing this work session is beneficial not only to us but to the public. Like Commissioner Ranella was saying about, we can, if there's something on this agenda that we need Tracy Gregor to explain or something like that, she's right downstairs, and we can say, hey, can you come to the meeting? This is what we need to discuss, that type of thing. She's right here. We don't have to tell her, can you stay after work? Especially like some of our employees live pretty far away, and once we have a meeting, if we have a meeting that lasts till 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, they have an hour or more to go home, some of them. So, it's beneficial all the way around. And we're available, like the five of us are available to anybody that needs to ask questions. Something that we're doing, that we are changing, is we've created a Office of the Commissioners, where 2 commissioners at a time. We have an office downstairs, and if anybody from the public would like to talk to a certain commissioner, if the commissioners are in, or make an appointment, and we'll be there. It gives us a space to talk to. If you would rather talk to one of us, in a quiet space, you don't have to talk to us in the foyer anymore. We actually have an office now, where we have an office with a conference table. You can come in, have a conversation with us. So we're trying our best to make ourselves available to our constituents, to the people that elected us here. And we're, it's important to us. It's a new group. It's a new group in here. And, there's things that are important to us that haven't been important in the past. But, I agree. I think that the way the work sessions are, we could be here for 3 hours one day. We had the meter people here. If we had that at the beginning, an hour before the thing, we would have had to cut it short. But we found out a lot of information, So it helps that we have the extended period. So I think it's a good thing. I really do.
Again, there's that cross-training,
Yeah.
the cross-learning
Yeah.
by that, because of, we're all experts now on water meters.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. So, anybody else for public comments? No? All right, at this time, I'll close the public comment portion of the meeting, and we will move on to final comments of commissioners. Mr. Taylor, anything to add? Commissioner Taylor?
I really don't have anything to add. I just think that, you know, the progress that we're having is positive. I mean, we are gonna hit bumps. We are gonna hit bumps in the road, but I think those bumps are fixable. I think we can put some cold patch in there, you know? And I think that with the five of us working together, it's just going to be a better place. I really do think that.
Thank you. Commissioner Taylor? Commissioner Ranella?
Well, I want to gush over my department through this whole snow ordeal. First storm, it was 14 hours. They came in at 5 a.m., and they were out there when it started pouring, just clearing away all of our sidewalks. If you came in through City Hall today, that you'll see their pretty color of blue-green, and that's because they worked really hard to make sure that there wasn't a patch of ice left out front for everybody. And then when everybody did come in to work after the storm, they were out there personally making sure that everybody made it safely into the building. So for that, I definitely want to give props and kudos to them and thank them. And I'd also like to thank Sergeant Stadnick for coordinating with everybody and using social media to keep the public up to date throughout the storm, how to prepare and all the way along. So I appreciate everything everyone has done, and on Tuesday at the meeting, I'll be gushing more. But thank you guys and ladies for holding the torch there and making sure all our public property was cleared out and our parking lots. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Ranella. Commissioner Casabun?
No, I've said just basically everything I wanted to say, but again, I have to piggyback on what Marissa is saying. The departments all came together. They came together as a team and worked together, and it's so great to see. It really is, and thank you to those guys.
Just to jump in with you, people don't realize there's people from the water department that jumped into trucks, not just
That's
streets and
right.
roads.
No, it was
People
they-
from other departments
departments.
jumped into
Yes,
trucks
they
to
did.
drive trucks, so it wasn't just the water department.
And they got called in. I got my first phone call from Mr. Gressman at 2:45 in the morning. I'm calling in the crew.
They
So
probably-
those guys were in from like about
Well,
3
they would have
o'clock.
asked you to drive a truck if you could see over the dashboard.
They were going to let me.
So-
They were going to let me. I was there. I just brought the donuts.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Commissioner Casabun, and Vice Mayor Cott.
Yeah, and we're going to keep hashing over this storm, right? Because it was a big one, right? It was something you don't see all the time, where you had a lot of snow followed by a lot of rain and ice, and which was unique. But I will tell you, we also, I don't know how long they stayed, but we were so short-handed, we even, sent out a bid for an extra company to try to come
Yes, we did.
relieve us a little bit.
And they did.
And
It wasn't, yes.
it's the amount of people that pitches in is insane. And you weren't kidding, so I thought that was weird at first. We asked the city employees if they wanted to come in to work on Monday or they could take a day off. I came in, and sure enough, there was Parks and Rec. Now, they were joking a little bit because they knew it was me. They're like, hey, you want to be carried up to the front door? And I said, no, I don't want you. You can
didn't
keep
let them
doing.
carry you?
No, but
Oh.
they were literally there trying to help people that needed to get into City Hall that day,
Yeah, they were
which I thought was just
They were
amazing that
They
they
are
did
good
that.
peop- It's a good crew
And
there.
they greeted everybody. It was
Yes, they did.
it was the first day, and maybe we want to rethink our municipal administrator, because his first day brought all that snow and rain. But
his
he still showed up, and once again, I know we're getting so I want to give some of my department a little shout out too. So eventually Trish and Emily will shut their phones off after hours. But they both answered phone calls that had concern. Trish was still working until who knows when, just trying to get the contracts done and ready for the extra person. And it was a citywide effort that a lot of people don't know about. Everybody was, all 5 of our departments was somehow involved in this, which is just amazing. And I love that, just so you guys know, and you don't always get to see everything that we do, and nor do we expect you to, but we try not to do anything without bringing another commissioner. We are really trying to cross-train everybody. I go through the agenda, and Commissioner Ronella's there. Carol needs something, and Sherman will be there. Like, we are really in this together, and we're really trying to cross-train. Those siloed days are over because you have emergencies like this, right?
Absolutely.
You have emergency where it takes a whole city, or you have something going on that touches multiple things. So I'm just proud of where we're going, and that's about it. But we used every truck we have, if people don't know. Every truck. If it could run and it had a plow on.
We used it.
We
There's
were
over 30
using
of
them,
them out
so.
Yes, there was.
yep.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. And I'm not going to be long. I'll just say, if you have questions about what's going on in the city, just ask. I have gotten in my office downstairs. The mayor was the very first number on the phone tree. So I spent yesterday, and I walked into the commissioner's office yesterday. I said, why is the mayor the first option on the phone tree? And I got calls yesterday on, I was answering calls on when trash was supposed to be picked up, mailboxes. I mean, it was over 15 to 20 calls that I did my best to answer, and I probably have 3 or 4. So if you called me and left a message, doing my best to get back to you, to get answers, and to help you out. I want to be, and that leads into my next point. If you are unsure about what's going on in the city, call us and ask. Don't go on social media and say, I saw 2 trucks in the whole city, and their salt's all gone. Call the city and punch in for the mayor and say, are we out of salt? And I'll say, no, we still have 200 or 400,000 pounds of salt left.
Just repeating, he said, did punch in for the mayor.
Well.
That's right.
And more on the way.
And more on the way. So my point is this, in general, rather than speculation, ask someone. We're not hiding anything from anyone. If you have a question, come to the podium, give us a call. If you know one of us, call us, or call me in City Hall. I'm here a lot. I do work full-time. Thank you for realizing that I do work full-time. However, I work at times where it allows me to be in the office a lot. And I think the employees here in the city are appreciative that all 5 of us spend a lot of time. I think if you asked people that work here, they've never seen this many commissioners, all throughout the building constantly. I hope that's a good thing in their minds, but we're here to support. We're here to help. We're here to, give direction and give all the employees here everything they need to be successful. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. As we go along, you're going to see some more public safety initiatives being unrolled. Hopefully in the next few weeks, you're going to see that. I'm very excited about that, to work with Commissioner Taylor to unroll some of the things that we've been talking about. When they become a little more formed, we're going to bring that to the public. But great things are happening. I have some good announcements coming soon on some things happening in my departments I'm very happy about. And we're still very positive. We just want the public to just reach out to us. Rather than speculation, reach out, and we will absolutely tell you everything we know. And with that, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.